Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Big Apple Hockey, and this one is entitled Mark's Nervous Breakdown of Game 7 for obvious reasons. Because, my goodness, this... Hold on. This one is entitled Mark's Nervous Breakdown of Game 7 for obvious reasons. Because, my goodness. Of course, I left the echo on. I did that because I have a poll up. I want to see how everybody's feeling right now. And... wow, that just came out all stupid. Hold on. There we go. So far, I know we got one vote for let's fucking go. So put it up right there. How's your anxiety for this game, both if you're a New York Rangers fan or a Pittsburgh Penguins fan? Oh, wait, there was one thing I forgot to do, everybody. Sorry about that. I just realized I had to do this. This is great television right now. And all right. So everybody, it's great to have you all back with me right now. And let's get that nameplate on there. I, of course, am your host, Mark Williams. And I got to ask you guys how you're feeling today, because I'm feeling no nerves whatsoever.
Today, look at that.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
And that's actually pretty accurate, if you ask me, because there is a lot going on today. And Michelle, yeah, exactly. I'm right there with you. Oh my goodness, this is just... it's a good thing that this series has been controversy free. There hasn't been any problems with disallowed goals, high hits, officiating. I mean, thank goodness it's been well done the entire time. So let's get down to some of these breakdowns I got for Game 7 and some of the news and notes. And we're going to start with this news and note and go back to it in a minute. But according to Vince Mercogliano, Sidney Crosby and Rickard Rakell could play tonight. They're waiting here for some news. But Tristan Jarry is expected to start tonight. I have some questions on that one. And we're going to start first with, and there's the Mark's nervous breakdown and game notes. We're going to start with some stats on the New York Rangers. I talked before about Igor Shesterkin could be gassed, but he actually lowered his goals against from the 4.22 that it was the other day to a 3.82, and he's now a 906 save percentage. He needs to be higher on that save percentage. 906 is not going to cut it, especially not against the Pittsburgh Penguins. But the Rangers have won their last 3 Game 7s. The last one that they lost dates all the way back to 2009. That was against the Washington Capitals. If you're Ranger fans, remember that one. That was the puck that hit off of Wade Redden's skates past Henrik Lundqvist, shot by Sergei Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov is a Washington Capital. Yeah, that actually happened. The teams scoring first in the series, this stat boggles my mind, because usually everybody in every hockey circle, oh, it's the most important thing. It's the most important thing, score first. Okay. Well, the team scoring first is 2-4. And the Rangers won Game 2. The Penguins won Game 3, as I got in the bottom of the Chiron. Any team that has taken a lead in this series, the first leads, 1-0, 2-0, all of them have not led by the end of the second period, except the Rangers in Game 2. So the first 40 minutes of hockey are going to be crucial. I'm going to expect it to be tied, because logically that's what it should be. I mean, obviously all the stuff behind me hopes the Rangers are going to win 10-0. The NHL fan wants to see a great game. Unfortunately, I will be bartending tonight, so I will also I'll be focused on work as well. Thank God. But so again, although Sidney Crosby's status is officially unlikely, he's likely to play, let's be honest. And Tristan Jarry to start. I have to question this from Mike Sullivan. I understand Tristan Jarry is your starter. I understand. And again, this is almost a reverse of the Georgiev-Shesterkin conversation we had last week. But you're going to throw your starting goaltender in a series in Game 7. I don't know if that's really good. And especially a guy who has not exactly enjoyed playoff success in his life. See the abysmal numbers he had against the New York Islanders. Let's see if I still got those right here for you. And yep, I do. Oh, no, I don't. My bad. Okay. I mean, Tristan Jarry, the last time we saw him in net in the playoffs, he was getting lit up like a Christmas tree by the New York Islanders. And the game before that, he had the game-winning assist to Josh Bailey. And if you don't believe me, Google it. So, because by the way, every coach in all levels of hockey always wants their goaltenders, especially, to pass the puck up the middle. Never mind your defense and your forwards. So let's go back to that poll for a second, see how you guys are dealing with your nerves. And I'm going to get to some of these in a minute. Holy shit, I'm freaking out is at 41%. So good job. I love it that it's feeling okay. It's just a game, anxious but confident. Let's go is the second highest one at 39%. I'm absolutely freaking out. I want to see more hockey. And by the way, if there are more games, or never mind that, there's a future podcast. I have right here as a giveaway, I have a signed Adam Fox picture that we'll be doing, raffling off of the channel. This is always the most organized whenever I'm by myself. Thank goodness. So, all right. I want to see you guys throw it down in the comments. Who needs to step up for Game 7? And I think the New York Rangers, I called them out, and it's Mika Zibanejad in Game 6. I'm going to go a lot of different New York Ranger right now. Artemi Panarin, where you been? 1 goal in the series? That's not going to be enough. Your team needs you. You're getting paid $11.5 million. I think there might be an injury involved with you. But you know something? This is why you were brought here. And you slayed the Giant already with the Tampa Bay Lightning back in 2019. Do it again. Or do it now. This is your time. And to quote Herb Brooks, this is your time. Go out there and take it. All right. Let's get to some of these comments right now. And also, I want to hear what you guys think. Oh, shit. Okay. First off, by the way, whoever corrected, Petey, thank you very much. Duh. The last Game 7 the Rangers played, they lost. This is the great part about having a format like this where I can immediately be corrected. Moron. All right. I should get hammered in the comments for that. Admonish me. Yeah. Definitely not. That's it. Reeves. Putting Gauthier and Rooney. I got to tell you, I want Julian Gauthier nowhere around the New York Islanders for the rest of his career. Whatever. New York Rangers. Who fucking... all right. I'm freaking out, guys. Okay. Let's be honest about this. No. And Mika shouldn't be checking Crosby. Put Mott or Cop on him. That's right. Petey. Yep. Makes me nervous. They were playing a cold goalie in Jarry today. Yeah. And the last time a cold goalie came in, he had spicy pork. But Petey, yes, you're right. Guys, again, my apologies. I can't believe the last Game 7 that we played at Madison Square Garden. Maybe it's that I want to bury that in my memory because the Rangers were completely ineffective in that game. They had about 30 seconds of highlights. And yet somehow it's Henrik Lundqvist's fault. All right. Yes, but Mike, the thing is, this isn't the same case anymore. I actually the Rangers are one of the best come from behind teams in the New York. Oh, it's a great thing you guys are on with me. My nerves are completely shot on this. Let's take a glass of water. All right, let's do this one again. The Rangers are one of the best come from behind teams. And you know what the funny part is? Multi-goal leads haven't been safe in this series. The Penguins lost the last 2 games, leading 2-0. The Rangers had a 2-0 lead in game 1. They had a 3-1 lead in game 2. The Penguins had a 4-1 lead in game 3. Only the Rangers held on in one of those, and the Penguins only held on in game 4. So this game ain't going to be over until 59 minutes and 59 seconds elapse. And even at that, it still might see us up overtime. And like I said, yeah, idiot. Maybe I just want to get rid of Elaine Vigneault from my memory. I think it's a great idea. Yep, let's go Rangers. All right, Paul, let's see what we got right here. It went all the way down to the bottom. He's coming hard and fast. I think it's going to be the Rangers weather in Pittsburgh storm tonight. Brian, yep, Rangers at 7. Mike, that is somewhat right. I mean, Tristan Jarry right there. Panarin needs to step it up. That is my guy too, Matt. Thank you very much. Tomas, how you doing? Frank Petrano. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the hero. He doesn't need to step it up, but he could be the hero. Jarry coming off the couch. Trooper's going to nail Crosby again. We got this. Okay, well, if you guys didn't see it, I had the Blazing Saddles on there. Steady as a rock. Too bad I shoot with this. All right. I think Loff and Condre Miller are due for good games. Yes. And first off, by the way, I do have a message for Jacob Trouba. Do not vacate the front of the net and leave Brian Rust all by himself. That was, I mean, if millions of fans are screaming out, watch the back door, maybe you need to watch the back door. So anyway. Yes. And I think, Mark, I think you're right about this one, by the way. Great spelling on the name. That now experience is both showing and growing. So the Rangers that don't have much playoff experience, they're starting to actually feel this. And they're starting to understand what this is all about. I mean, the fact that this team was able to force a game 7 down 3-1 after that pathetic experience in game 4, they rightfully should have been dead in the water. And for 35 minutes of game 5, they were. By the way, the first thing the Rangers need to do tonight, not start the game with a 5-on-3. All right. Mika with Crosby back, the most pressure on him. He has to win faceoffs and play up to this moment. Yes. Now, Mika Zibanejad, we all know this, all of us, pundits, fans, everything. This guy, when his confidence is riding high, he is one of the best players in the NHL. When his confidence is low, he might as well be me in both my hockey and my dating life. So, big game. Wow, Bob Ganoush. Wow, that's big game. Loff, he's getting the overtime winner or just a goal. I hope it's just a goal, and I hope it's not the overtime winner because I don't want to see overtime. I've already lost my voice too much by yelling at the disbelief of winning this game. I will be probably taking my my red light. I got to find out where I left that. All right. Trouba and Miller need to be much better. B-Rye, you were 100% right on that one. No OT tonight. I can't handle that. No, I can't either. Don't worry, Mark. This is a brand new team. They ain't the 20. Yes. Well, the 2015 New York Rangers had a lot of guts on there. It's just game 7. The way AV said it, I'll stick with what he said. It was Ryan McDonough had a treatment that didn't exactly take. Matt Hunwick goes in. You end up scratching. I forgot who they scratched, but they ended up going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, and it just did not work. And I was like all of us. And the worst part about bartending at that time is you don't know what's going on because you don't hear all the pregame because you're too busy serving a crowded bar. And then I looked up and I was like, why the hell is Matt Unwick in this game? All right. Brodzinski for Reeves, I hope. You know what? I think they're going to need Brodzinski's skill. But it was Rick Trash who cost us a cup. I'm not going to say you're wrong. He did need to be better. Geez, why is this jumping ahead so far? Keith M., you're 100% right. I need some Jameson to calm my nerves. If Nemeth plays tonight, fire Gallant. Like I said before, you're paying him $10.5 million to not coach. And then you'd have to pay the new coach, let's assume it's Barry Trotz, $4 million to coach this team. It's not a good thing. It's not a good look. So I know what you're saying, though. Hopefully, no Patrick Nemeth at all. They should run 12 forwards and 60, and I'd expect Braun to play instead of Nemeth. That's just my thing. All right. The biggest thing that they could do is have 2 or 3 solid shifts after a Penguins goal. Hopefully not before a Penguins, or hopefully the Penguins never score. They got to keep the Penguins Pens to 1 goal, settle things down. Can't give up 2 or 3 and 4 minutes. Yep. And that's the other thing, too. They've given up goals in bunches. They've given up goals right after they've scored goals. Those are all bad indications. Romanelli, you were right. Romanelli, you're right. So nerves are starting to calm down a little bit, everybody. Let's check how you're feeling. 40% of people, let's fucking go. All right. Still anxious and confident. The feeling okay, it's just a game at 6%. Who the hell are you people saying that? And holy shit, I'm freaking out at 33%. Okay. Nerves are fried. Yep, that's right, Al. I'm ready to do this as well. Let's get to this. All right. Artemi Panarin has been way too passive in this series. Yeah, think about that goal he had in game 3 where basically he told Louis Domingue that puck was going in the net before he let it go. That's the Artemi Panarin the New York Rangers need tonight. Rangers need to get pucks on Jarry early. Hopefully not when it gets settled in. You know what? Here's another thing. If Penguins dominate the first 10 minutes, let's say if they go with a huge charge, that benefits the Rangers, especially if they weather the storm. Jarry hasn't seen a game-time puck in over a month, and it was against the New York Islanders. I don't know how his lower body is doing. If he's not seeing rubber right away, that could help the Rangers and get him out of focus. And again, Tristan Jarry is not absolved from giving up the bad goal. Pick any game in that Islander series. He gave up a bad one. Hopefully we get away from the rampant stick checking. Yep. Yeah, the stick checking's got to go. I would actually start the Heedle line right now. Even though many don't want to play Revo, he needs to play tonight because, yeah, that's going to be right. Multiple Rangers have vacated the front of the net. Penguins have at least 5 or 6. Yeah, that's happened. But again, like the first goal of the series for the Penguins, who else? Jake Gensel, John Druce, for anybody that's old enough to remember. He basically got lost behind the play, and I think it was actually Patrick Nemeth who had him, and then they got crossed up, all alone in front, 2-1. And that was a game the Rangers were dominating up until that play. Then, again, it boggles my mind on the 2-on-2 with Sidney Crosby. Ryan Lindgren, his only job is the guy on the left side streaking in. He's looking at Sidney Crosby. That isn't any good. Ryan Lindgren, much better in this series since he came back in. And you know what? Phil had him on the good, bad, and ugly as a Warrior. Yeah, this guy's playing through everything. He's going to look like that picture of Rambo doing this at the end. So, okay, Al, is Sidney Crosby playing? Concussion protocol should not allow him to play again anytime soon. I wonder about that all the time, and that's why I think it's only revealed as an upper body injury. That's all they've ever said. I have not heard anybody say it's a concussion. And if that's the case, I I mean, then you're having. I got my opinions on how they would treat this if it was a concussion, and also you're talking about Sidney Crosby, one of the most competitive guys. He would probably sign a waiver to get back out there, but stuff like that. I think it was 2013. Jonathan Taves that might have had a concussion, and Patrice Bergeron with a fractured, a broken rib and a punctured lung, and they still played Game 7 or Game 6, I should say. All right. Heavy Mud Bud. All right. Yeah, that was great. That was great. It was Chris Kreider taking it. And again, what he said after that, where Mika was second guessing his move, Kreider just taking it and throwing it down. Look, I know everybody's got their opinions. My opinion is Chris Kreider should be wearing the C. That's where I've just left it. Biggest worry, team's not showing up. Yeah. No, you know what? Gerard Gallant's going to make sure the team showed up. His last Game 7 that he coached was Vegas versus San Jose, and they were all over San Jose. And that was the infamous Joe Pavelski major penalty. Too drunk to post for Game 6. Unfortunately, Tyler, when I'm working, I just can't. I can't do it. However, Philk did his final buzzer, which Philk was doing regularly. We all got to see Philk again, everybody. Although I still got to get Philk to get an eye-level camera because it kind of looks a little bit like forced perspective sometimes with him with his camera angle. So, all right, let's keep going. Nope. If he does the 7th D, maybe okay. I'm fine with that. The Rangers need every body that they can get because let's face it, Pittsburgh is not going to take any prisoners. All right, the 2015 team was good. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. Well, Ben Bishop screwed us, but again, you can't have 2 home games and not score a goal in your final 2 home games. It doesn't matter who your goaltender is, even if he's a Hall of Fame legendary Swedish goaltender. But it's just, I mean, those 2 seasons robbed Henrik Lundqvist of the Stanley Cup. And again, the number one I look back and say for that is Tim Peel not calling the goalie interference in Game 2 versus the Kings in 2014. But whatever, the puck was by him, even though it was still in the slot. Even if they win, all things considered, I'm still disappointed. Dominated the first period of Game 1 and been downhill ever since. Yeah, but they also lost their physical presence. Barclay Goodrow supposedly was playing on a broken ankle for 4 periods. That, speaking about a guy that was playing like a warrior. 1,000% effort tonight, guys, physically, and I just went all the way down. And speed, comrades, guys. All right, sorry, the comma didn't get me. All right, comrades, Rangers got this tonight. All right, Lindgren does everything Girardi did, but with more size and more strength. Yes, I like that. To become a top flight center. Oh, Hedl. Okay. For Hedl to become a top flight center, and he's got to learn how to pass the puck. He's a shoot first center. Yep, that's probably one of his weaknesses. Oh. Doug, you got me thinking about this one. I'm going to go check that poll once again. Let's see how everybody's feeling. 32%. Holy shit, I'm freaking out. 39%. Let's fucking go. And 25% anxious. All right. You're pressing me on that one. I'm going to say 4-2. It could be either way. I will go Rangers because I want to. I favor the home team and for the most part, better defensive team all season. I'm not a believer in Tristan Jarry. I don't think Jarry's gonna do that great tonight. I think it's a bad move to put him in Game 7. I'm gonna use that as words are escaping me right now as the deciding factor. We'll go with that, but I think it's putting a lot of pressure on him, and that just that can't really be doing it. 41 people right now in the chat. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining me, because our cult is growing more and more every single day. This is what we need to be doing, and it's steady as a rock, everybody. Steady as a rock. Like, I wonder what even my pregame meal is going to be. Never mind the players. Kreider should absolutely wear the C. I can see Lingard wearing the C too. Yeah, because he's just one hell of a player. You see less and less in Phil. Well, again, the man is working a full-time job, and it's in the mids. So I think he's doing 1 to 10s all the time. It is certainly not because Philk is not part of Big Apple Hockey. He definitely is. So I'm fortunate enough to call him my friend and partner on this. Win or lose, will there be a post game tonight? I don't know if I can tell you I'm not doing one tonight. We'll see if Philk is going to do one. I think he's off tonight. He might do one. That's a great question. If he is, hopefully that'll be great. I'm working till 4 a.m. because that's just me, and I can't vacate the bar because I'm also a control freak. So, all right, Bob Ganesh, you're right. The mod is such a difference maker. 100%. I kept on saying that more and more. I actually think Tyler Mott coming back in this series is more important than Sidney Crosby playing tonight. That's how little the Rangers were being physical in the first 2 games. So, Love 55 reminds me of Joe Girardi, the same work ethic. Yeah, okay. Or Dan Girardi, I think you mean, but Joe Girardi also had pretty good work ethic for the Yankees. Right. B-Rye, Lindy has been the strongest D-man in the 5 of 6 games. Kid line is consistent. Line of the series. Lavi Kako made huge strides. Even Heedle's compete level has been up. You were correct on all that. And Heedle, who got his first NHL playoff goal in Game 5, that was a game winner. So Bread shouldn't be one of our best back. Bread shouldn't be one of our best back checkers. It is. And it's great that he back checks all the time, but other players should be doing it better. That is also correct. Took me 2 times to do that. I do not read so quickly, boys. Especially Reeves needs to play because it's a home game. That is true. I really like it when he reads out the starting lineup, and like Ryan Reeves being there no matter what is tremendous for this team. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if not only that he plays, and he plays a lot. Gerard Gallant's done that a lot in the past with him. All right. I keep jumping ahead like 15 comments. I'm sorry, guys. It always takes me a minute. If Heedle can, okay, yes, it is Master. I was trying to think it was Muster when you originally wrote that. If Heedle can master the shots that create rebounds, being a shoot first center would be a good thing. Yes. And Doug, thank you for coming on. That's what matters more. By the way, everybody, do not forget to, I got all these new graphics. I got to use them to smash that like button. That's right over there. Keep dropping your comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe. Although YouTube is now favoring shares. I don't know how that works because I live stream most of this stuff. So let's keep on going with that. Dave, welcome back. Rangers, I don't want to get off of that. Rangers just need to come out flying tonight and not give up the first goal. Can't keep playing from behind. Get lots of shots on Jari and pressure him. You know what? Well, be right. It is confirmed Jari is in, according to Vince Mercogliano, who is a prominent NHL writer. That's a great thing to have that available, because I didn't want to say anything. I don't ever want to say anything that's just rumor on this channel. I just don't. And there's plenty of other channels that can come up with unsubstantiated claims or claims from faulty sources to do all this. Hell, I got fooled by a parody page on Twitter the other day because David Quinn, I thought, said play the kids more. It wasn't him. So, but again, Mike, I think it's going to be the Penguins trying to come out and do all this. If we get the Rangers in period 1 of game 1, yeah, this might be a short game 7. The Penguins aren't going to go away easily. Brett is sensational and must be more visible tonight. He is turning over lately because he is small and being hit. He's turning over a lot in this series. That's been a huge problem. Panarin can't be turning it over. By the way, second on turnovers right after him, Andrew Kopp. And he's been very good in the series, but can't turn the puck over a lot. Ticket prices for tonight are nuts. Yeah, it's game 7, but the first round, anyone going for $600 a ticket is stupid. Romanello, you're right about that one because, yeah, that's insane. I did think about wanting to get tickets to one of these games, but all right. Best outcome, Igor plays lights out and getting back to his form and feeling confident to take on the Canes. By the way, I started saying it before. Igor Shesterkin, there's his regular season numbers. There is postseason numbers. And the one positive I could say is at least the save percentage went up. It was 100th of a point, but it went up. Goals against is down dramatically. It'll continue to go down again. I would love it if Igor could just muster up one more game like he's had versus these guys. All right. Yep, James, you're right about that. There needs to be a stop. There needs to be a stop stick check. Stop stick checking. No more stick checking. Oh, geez. Words will not come out of my mouth because I am on the holy shit, I'm freaking out category. So there you go. When I said lesson. Oh, well, you know what, Mike, you're right about that. All right. There's a problem with reading things too quickly and not understanding context. But yeah. Filk is, I gotta update the bar talk because that's where Filk still looks big. Yeah. Filk turns sideways, we lose him. Post-game celebration, you mean? Yes. If there is anything that Filk isn't doing, I'll always try to get like a couple videos on our Instagram and maybe even YouTube shorts for us. There's just I'm hoping. They lost that last one at the Garden. Actually, yeah, absolutely. If you can see it right here, this is an oil painting from my grandmother. She was an oil painting artist. She loved to do that all the time. There's another one that I have. I'll post all these on Big Apple Hockey's Instagram page and such. Unfortunately, you can't fully see everything right there because the screen, it gets in the way, but because the reflection of the screen, because the better see everything, I pull my TV out right here. But my grandmother was an oil painter. My mom was a very gifted artist as well. But there's a couple of these paintings I still have. And if you've been to the Sweet Shop in Hicksville, you've seen a lot of my grandmother's paintings, including, I believe, one of my Aunt Sue on a carousel that was still hanging in there. And you know what, boys, you're right. I definitely need some whiskey. Hopefully a celebration. Yeah, it's fucking A, yes. I believe 13 will be instrumental tonight. Yeah, I think let's go Laffy. I'm gonna go with what Lauren's saying right here. How you doing? And bring on the Canes, I think you're trying to say. Bring on the Canes, not just let's go Canes. Because also a person I'll be happy about that is my friend Pete Mackin, who is a huge Canes fan. He is our Canes, he's our Canes blogger for Big Apple Hockey, and I'll probably be able to do a series preview with him on that. Try to get the camera a little bit fixed. Hope I'm not accidentally doxing myself. You guys might come and see the room that I live in. I need to get an apartment again. Igor has got to be at his best tonight. Yeah, he does. This is Igor. You want to be the best in Rangers history? Win tonight. That'll help. That'll go a long way. I gotta say this. Doug Waite said Stromer might be the best forward in this series. I don't know what series he's watching. Like, are you kidding? Ryan Strome. Sure. All right. Jackson, Lauren, Lauren, I'll get back to yours. But Crosby is going to play. Vince Mercogliano has said it. Oh, sorry. No, sorry, it's the other way around. Tristan Jarry is going to play. I think Crosby's going to play. So, yeah, nerves are getting to me too. Adoy. Yeah, the Penguins fans. Well, when they were doing it at Pittsburgh Pirates game, that was also kind of there. But by the way, they're allowed. You're allowed to do the chants. I mean, I think we were doing Hextall. So. Oh, okay. Hold on, I'll get you on that one. Nemeth must not dress, and or be let into the building tomorrow. Yeah. If you're Pittsburgh, what are the keys to winning tonight? Got to think keeping the Rangers away from Jari as much as possible is on the top of his list. Yeah, they're going to keep the Rangers to the outside. I mean, that's basically your generic hockey term all the time. I think you need to get a goal out of Jake Gensel to get back into the Rangers' heads. And let's say, because I made this prediction. I said if Mika Zibanejad scores in game 6, the Rangers are going to win the series. I didn't say the game. I said the series. And I'm going to stick with that. Mika Zibanejad scored in game 6. Clearly, he had a hat trick. And I think that's going to be right there. I think he's going to be playing with a lot more confidence tonight. So I'll take Mika Zibanejad tonight. If I'll take that entire line on DraftKings right now if I had to. But also finishing up with this, I'm going to say what the Penguins need to do is win the special teams battle again. They need at least one power play goal and keep the Rangers off. The Rangers have had a power play goals in game 5 and game 6. They didn't get one in games 3 and 4. So that's where the important thing is. The Rangers with last change can always get Mika Zibanejad away from Sidney Crosby. Have it eyes. So my mistake. I thought you meant this one because that's artwork. This is the 1980 Miracle on Ice celebration. And that's a replica ticket that I have right there. And that's all them. It's all of them signed. It is a replica. I'm going to admit that. So it's Miracle on Ice. If I can go back in time and watch one sporting event with no knowledge of it, that's number one. And by the way, I quoted it earlier. This is your time. Go out there and take it. So, unpopular opinion. Igor has played well outside of games 3 and 4. Defensive breakdowns have been the main culprit. You are 100% correct. And so, by the way, Jackson, I'm already reading your comment, and I just had to laugh. Because I like it. I like it when I can get some away guys that at least have some banter in here. Igor's played well. You know what? Igor's played fairly well, but the thing is, there's a couple things that I don't like about his game right now. There is video definitely out on him saying if you're behind the net, throw it in front as fast as you can, because he plays so far out that he doesn't get fully back. Look at Gensel's goal in game 5. That is eerily reminiscent of, I believe it was Sveshnikov's goal versus him 3 weeks ago versus Carolina at the Garden. And there's a lot of them. I can even think of the game in Nashville that I was at. I want to say it was the kid with like 300 penalty minutes. I want to say it was Tomasino, that he threw the puck at the net. It's off Igor and in. And he's got to get back, hug the post. He kind of didn't know where the puck was for about half a second on the first goal on Friday night, and was a little bit late getting over to get Jeff Carter's goal. There is no blame on him for the Brian Rust goal. You can't have two defenders vacate. And of course, as Steve Alcat will tell you, passing across the slot line increases scoring chances by over 30%. So, by the way, Jackson, I do want to say this for you. I apologize wholeheartedly. I was kind of rooting for the Leafs last night. That just sucks. Sorry, man. And that is, I got to go see a game up there again. I haven't seen a game there since Geez, I haven't seen a game in Toronto since Game 5, Islanders Penguins 2002. Okay. Or 2001. Yeah, I think it was 2001. Not an unpopular take. Well, if that's who awaits the Rangers Penguins, the Hurricanes. Pens need to be checking demons and disrupt our transition game. We transition when it's that simple. Yeah, you know what? I think the Rangers are better in transition. So Stromer may need better drill. Yep, because he cannot hit an open net to save his life. The Rangers should have won Game 1. I'll come out and say it. He missed some glorious chances. Lavi's been up there with the best Rangers in the series. I think he's been the best Ranger in this series because he's been the most consistent. Maybe Andrew Kopp. Kopp has been awesome. Love him. Keep him putting up the points. Yep. If Crosby's in the protocol, he cannot play. Yeah. There we go. There's another Pens fan for you. All right. Wait needs to get his eyes checked. Wait was probably seeing with a little bit of assistant coach goggles, I think, on that one. Weakest link in the top 6. Mikey BX. Been a while since I've seen you. Well, another thing about it is he practiced the other day, before Game 6. Sullivan said he's in a good place. Frankly, I hope Crosby's okay, and I hope he plays tonight because I don't want this guy to always have a litany of injuries in his career. I already say all the time he's the 6th best player of all time. And I put him behind Messier. And, of course, behind another Penguin as well. And somebody named Gretzky. Mikey BX, I'm on my way to the Garden. I'm not worried. We have it in the bag. I hope you are 100% right. And by the way, thank you for listening to me on the way to the Garden. Are you taking the train or are you actually driving in right now? So I just got all the way ahead of this. I don't understand why it's jumping ahead another 10. Above Graves. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I'll point this one out too. That is it's entitled Wrist Shot. It was by the famed writer Terry Rose or illustrator Terry Rose, who he was more in the 80s, I think. It's great. I've owned it since 1998, and I love that. So thank you for telling me about that one. Although the oil painting is still what I'm most proud about because that's my family. They still haven't announced he's in concussion protocol, and I can't verify that yet. Leo, how you doing? Saw Tomas in there too. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm a Green Bay Packers fans and the Maple Leafs. It's just, yeah. It's rougher for you being a Packers fan because, man, they get to the conference. They just get to the playoffs. And what happens? Like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating enough just watching that as an outsider. I can only imagine how it feels as an insider. I mean, I guess it would be like the same way I felt as a Miami Dolphin fan in the 90s. I don't feel that way anymore because I barely feel anything. Now I know why people get divorced. I always wanted to do with a website called that Sports Divorce, where you just or fan free agents was the other idea for it, where when you're tired of your team, you can actually leave, even though once you choose your team, you're screwed. You're done forever. Tell me about it being a Mets fan. All right. Shots early on Jari, and the fans need to get on. Yep. That's going to be important. Get the fans on Jari because, again, Tristan Jari ain't exactly the most rock solid, mentally stable goaltender. And you know what? I'm going to hammer it home. I've been talking about this all the time, but let's go get it. And let's go to that article written by the idiot that said the Rangers were winning at 5. You're staring at him right now, by the way. All right, so play a preview because I that's not it one. It's By the way, we're starting to get more articles up on BigAppleHockey.com. Or sorry, BigAppleHockeyPodcast.com, I should say. But we're going to go to this one, bring it on down, share that screen, because once again, I know you're never defined by your worst moment. Hell, that was one of the lines in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, reprising the line from X-Men. But once again, everybody, this is who the Rangers will be facing.
Made sure he deposited in the net. And Lou Lamoriello, you're smiling though, Brendan. That's what he's doing. And
okay, and in case and I know people will be like, why am I showing the Aslanders? Well, because again, this is relevant. Where are the yellow jerseys right here? If I was his teammate, I would have punched him in the face. It's just one of the dumber plays I think I've ever seen a goalie ever make. Yes, you're not judged by your worst comment, but still. Yeah. I think there's definitely some protocol that if he hasn't had any symptoms, that could be there. He has 5 full days of no symptoms, even if he's had symptoms the whole time. But again, have they declared it as a concussion? That's the question I still have. I still haven't seen anything on there. Holy shit. And there it is. And we had a bunch of bots just join us. That was fun. Yankee win this afternoon, a Ranger win tonight, and a big fat ribeye steak fries, cream spinach, and I will be the happiest man on earth. Michael, that sounds like heaven. Throw a cigar in there and a little bit of whiskey, maybe even a little old fashioned with some smoke lined glass. That would be heaven. So there you go. Mikey BX. Crosby practiced yesterday with a regular jersey, and that means no contact. He'll probably play. I wonder if it's his neck. That's what I wonder. Because remember when he had concussions, everybody thought it was concussions, and it ended up being whiplash. Yes. No, I hear you. They'll find a way around that. If that's a rule, they'll find a way around it. Not wishing any harm on Crosby, but his career is cut a little bit short because of injuries. He's already won 3 cups. I'm not going to cry. Well, Sidney Crosby's had a great career. There's no doubt about that. 40 of us on the bus to the 6th train, 125th. All right, great. Do me a favor, spread the word. Big Apple Hockey. We need more people. We need more people. Jackson, thank you very much, because this is why I do this. This is why we started doing this. Jari didn't implode against the Islanders. I don't even know what the words he used are. Did he steal a game in the entire series? He had the bad angle shot against Kyle Palmieri to start the series, and then end game 1 with another bad angle shot that got by him. The guy lets up bad shots. I said 5 or 7 predicted we would win at home. No, we won, lost away. Yes. And block that user. Okay, there we go. Because Rumich, I'll get to that one in a second. Interesting stat. The first time there was a game 5. There was 5 game 7s. The record is 6. Yeah. Ramich, I understand. And all it takes is for him just to show up tonight. If he shows up like the way they did in the Rangers Penguins game at the end of February, where he made an outstanding blocker save on Adam Fox when he had the chance to tie the game. He ends up beating Igor Shesterkin 1-0. But again, I have no faith in Tristan Jarry. I understand he was an all-star. I understand I look at his statistics. I predicted that they were going to roll over the Islanders in 5 because Tristan Jarry was so good. Tristan Jarry is not a quality playoff goaltender. That is my honest opinion. And I'm not trying to be in anybody's face. If the Penguins get by, the Penguins can get by because they're a well-coached team and well-played defensively. They're an excellent defensive team. That being said, no, Jari's going to make a mistake. All it takes for 1 second. Think about this. A lot of Ranger fans have kind of gotten on me because I talked about Georgiev's playing game 3. Oh, Georgiev was outstanding. Okay. But when it came to the goal that won the game, Georgiev went off the post, made some stupid pose, whatever it is, because goalies don't do that. He wasn't square to the shooter. First thing you need to do is be square to the shooter. And then puck gets by him. And Danton Heinen, that's not a great shot. Let's not act like he was a marksman. And then it turns around and your entire bench just gets deflated when something like that happens. That's where I get on goalies about. Like, we've all had this in whatever team we played on, whether it's travel, men's league, professional, if you've been lucky enough to get on there. If your goalie lets in a bad goal, your entire bench is deflated. Now, the one thing I could say about both these teams in this series is that both of them have stood up to the task and gotten back into the game, no matter what the deficit was. As I've said before, any team up 1-0, 2-0, they have all lost that lead by the time the second period started, except for game 2 against for the Rangers. All the rest of them not there. Barbecue Penguin tonight. Hopefully, in your case, there is something like that's called canned penguins that are in there. Frangelico and a Cuban. Ooh, all right. That does actually sound good. What's a Raquel injury? Apparently, he has been skating, and he's rumored to have a concussion. So is Crosby. Who knows? I'm not there to speculate on that. I heard he was skating as well. I don't know if he had a red jersey or not. That's a case he could be playing. Look, this is the reason why you get all these guys. I'm much more confident, though, and I'm going to still be fired up about this. I'm much more confident with playing a guy like, say, for instance, Rickard Rakell tonight, because you could see how Rickard Rakell reacts not being in for about almost 2 weeks now. I think it's 12 days since his last game, and he only played a handful of shifts, and he took a devastating hit from Ryan Lindgren. Now, so you have that, and then you have Crosby coming back in. Not a problem. He's pro. He's done it before. I would be nervous about Jari's the most unpredictable thing right now. Never mind, I just cited all the other reasons why I have trouble with him. But also, you're talking about a goalie that hasn't seen a puck in a month, and you throw him in a game 7. He's got to be familiar with the speed. He's got to be familiar with playoff hockey. I don't know if this is the best move for the Penguins. That's just me. And it's not because I want to see Louis Domingue, because Louis Domingue's looked like, I mean, the Rangers made Dustin Toharski look like Carey Price back in 2014. So again, I am on the 31% of people who are still freaking out. So all we can ask for is a great game and a Rangers win. Well, you can ask for one. Unfortunately, one team's got to lose tonight. One team that could possibly, and I know what I just said, but one team that could possibly win a Stanley Cup is going to lose tonight. So, guys, and of course, yes, like, share, and subscribe. And I just got all these, so I have to keep using them. Smash the like. I'm too busy talking all the time. Just me. And you got me fired up about the Tristan Jarry thing. And yes, you're right about that. You could always say to me, no, put the banners up there. You could always say to me, what good does that have to, what does that have to do with doing anything? But that's previous mistakes. And let me give you another one. Mike Richter in 1994 had to answer those questions on whether or not he's a playoff goaltender, because he had the bad goal from Ron Francis in 1992. He skated around the entire around the circles behind the net for a minute, and they dropped the puck. The Penguins noticed this and nearly scored on him. Roger Nielsen then goes, nope, pulls Mike Richter, puts in John Van Beesbroek, and it wasn't until the next season not the next season, because the Rangers didn't make playoffs in 93, and then what happens in 94, Richter comes out, has an outstanding series against the Islanders. But if some Ranger fans remember, the older ones, Kevin Hatcher scored from his own end just in front of the goal line. And that skipped past Mike Richter. And everybody kind of had to hold their breath to go, how is he going to handle this? Mike Richter then shut the door. Brian Leetch scores the game winner. Rangers get by the Capitals. Or the series winner, actually, for that one. That's just the way. Look, everybody has gaffes, and it's fine to make a gaffe. Tristan Jarry, I just played his. How you deal with it afterwards is there. And by the way, the Penguins last year were a no-show in Game 6 versus the Islanders. That's why I get infuriated about it. And it wasn't because I just predicted them. So, I mean, but things could also be different. You could also be right. But that's just the way I see it at the moment. All right. Jarry catches left. No. Yeah, sorry. I always think, yeah, Jarry catches with his left. Much better for us in the power play. Mika gets the, but yeah, Mika likes to go stick side on the bomb. Louis caught right, which makes it much different. That is correct as well. That's something that, by the way, that does get in people's heads. I know for me, I usually like to go stick side. I'm a left wing. I'm a right-handed shot because I have more room right over there. Though I can't tell you the last time I had a goal on the left wing right now, but that's a different story. Sorry, I got to read this off. Listen to me. Crosby is the league's poster boy. They are not going to let him play around for one game and risk him getting injured and worse, his career is over. Yeah, kind of. The NHL has this weird thing where it's still primarily, and so is baseball, primarily focused on the teams. That's all we're thinking about, just team to team to team. Sidney Crosby should be a bigger name everywhere in the United States, definitely. And also Austin Matthews. Speaking about which, Austin Matthews, the NHL should be marketing the hell out of him. I'm pretty sure he's great up in Canada, but someone might be both brave and crazy, but he really has no choice. Oh, you know what? Louis Dominguez won 3 games, but I do think this. I think Louis Dominguez, I think it's not really struck midnight, but the bells are starting to chime. All right. Richter was completely unconscious in 94 and a miracle worker. Yes, and that's exactly that. He had a great first series. By the time that goal came around, it wasn't a huge goal. The one that I described in 92, and my friend Charlie could talk to me about it all the time whenever I'm at the bar. The Rangers were up 2-1 in the series. And then, of course, by the way, that's the Adam Graves slash on Mario Lemieux that broke his wrist. But it's something that, again, you don't know what you're going to be like until you encounter that adversity. Everybody's going to encounter adversity. I encountered adversity several times by being an idiot and not having everything 100% prepared when we started. So, yeah. First person I call out. All right. I'll say this. If we win tonight, the experience of this could carry them forward. Going 7 is a different animal and has a valuable experience within itself. Yes. And by the way, a lot of Rangers in 2014 needed that experience. Well, more so 2013, because you had Derek Brassard, who's never been in a Game 7. Matt Zuccarello, who's never been in a Game 7. Because I don't think he dressed with the 2012 Rangers a lot. So then there was Benoit Pouliot, who was never in a Game 7. Kevin Klein, who was, I don't believe he was ever in a Game 7 with the Nashville Predators either. So again, all these things, look, it's a valuable experience. Experience matters when it's going to happen. Once you've done it, you've experienced it, and everybody else has got it. If that line just made sense. Hopefully we can put that on a t-shirt. By the way, the t-shirt that I'm wearing today, because right now we could use that. All right. Jackson, I kind of hope that you are disappointed tonight, but don't worry. Football season is getting closer. Facts, last year in the playoffs, Islander, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was a better team and should have won that series. It was poor play. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. You know what? And Jackson, take some comfort in this. I know it's going to be hollow hearing it from the away fan, and especially I've used the jokes. The Maple Leafs can't win around, blah blah blah. But you know what? I was kind of rooting for him. You watch if especially if you watch Steve Dangle's LFR, it's just you start rooting for the Maple Leafs. I've had a Maple Leafs jersey when I was younger, and it's just that team was that good. And I gotta say this: the most maligned Leaf I thought that showed up was Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell was great in the last 3 games, and he's a guy that I point to a lot and said he's not a good enough goaltender. He might be. Takes him in that. The Lightning is still great, and don't get me wrong. I think they got some beneficial goaltending in game 6. I said goaltending, refereeing, officiating. Another thing we need to take into consideration is that Malkin is a powder keg. We need someone to get into his head, someone like Rooney. Have him step off his game. Yeah. But Malkin could also go off the other way, guys. If there's an X factor in this game, it's Evgeny Malkin. The one good thing I could say for the Rangers is one of my X factors under the radar players in the preview was Evan Rodriguez. And Evan Rodriguez was great in games 2, 3, and 4. Invisible the rest of the time. So, and he's a much like Sidney Crosby on power play 1 is one thing. And then if it's Evan Rodriguez instead of him, the win for the Rangers on that one. Tampa is still great, but if points injured seriously, that could hurt. Yep, that's going to be a great series. Florida, Tampa. I thought that was the series of the playoffs last year. Now Florida's really going to be ready for him. Leas and Tavares are cursed. Yeah, unfortunately, John Tavares. I still feel for the guy. Islander fans, I think, are needlessly cruel with him, but I understand why. The point injury could crush him, but didn't he come back into the game? I could just want to remember seeing him come back into the game. Leafs lost to the better team in Tampa Bay. Tampa is going to win the cup this year, and I said it from the beginning of this playoff year. Okay. I still got Calgary winning the Stanley Cup. I just believe in them 100%. I don't care if they're in Game 7 right now. Although, watch them get eliminated. So, we're giving away the middle too much to the Penguins. Take away the middle of their ends. The Rangers need to take away the middle of both ends. Yeah, and by the way, you're 100% right on this one, Steven, because the Rangers aren't getting to the slot enough. Get to the slots. How did they get their first goal in Game 1? Andrew Kopp in the slot. How did they get the first goal in Game 2? Andrew Kopp in the first goal in Game 1 wasn't Andrew Kopp. He had the second goal. My mistake. But still, Andrew Kopp in the slot. You got to get to the slot or the house. Either one you want to call it. So, hope the Flames win tonight. So, you can only get the Battle of Florida, but the Battle of Alberta as well. Yes, the Battle of Alberta. Flames in 5, if that's the case. By the way, speaking about teams that I didn't think their goaltending was good enough, Mike Smith. There's another one. I didn't think a guy that who's basically my age can do that. But you know what? Credit Mike Smith. Turned back the clock a little bit. And he deserves success too. He was good as 2012 with the Coyotes. But I mean, it's I just don't see how Edmonton gets past Calgary. But we'll see about that. Point did come back, but left again. Okay, thanks, Romanel. All right. So think about it. Our future D has potentially 3 Norris winners. I am going to take a breath on that one. It's very hard to win 1 Norris. Never mind have 3 different guys. I like the way Keandre Miller has been playing in the series. I know some of the guys have said he's not been that great, but I thought he's been their best. Well, I'd probably go Miller for the entire series, Lindgren since he came back, and Fox. Fox just started looking like Adam Fox again. So Brandon Schneider's actually been really good. So I guess that would be a third one. You still got Nils Lundqvist in the minors, guys. Nils Lundqvist. Rangers need to get rid of the goddamn cross crease pass. So what if they, yeah, that's right. So that is what the D need to do in this game. What the offense needs to do is shoot more. That is correct. The team that controls the neutral ice will win the game tonight. That is basically correct almost every single hockey game. But no, Mike, I know what you mean. Yes. Anybody go into the game, I'll be at Mustang Harry's. If you have a Rangers jersey, I'll buy you a drink. Damn it, Mikey. Now I gotta go. I gotta call out of work now. I'll be on the train in a minute. Okay, Steven, yes. Affirming Leo. Realistically, if the Rangers win tonight, I don't see them beating the Canes. Well, guess what? The Bruins were outscored, I think it was 22-1 in their first 5 games, 3 in the regular season and 1 in the playoffs versus the Carolina Hurricanes. They took them to 7. Anybody can be beaten. I outlined every single reason why the Rangers are going to win this series and win it quickly. And instead, we're playing game 7 tonight, and they had to fight back from a 3-1 deficit. It's the playoffs. You lay it all out there. Lincoln reminds me of Anton Stroman. Actually, better than Anton Stroman. He's a lot more of a physical presence. Miller and Schneider, yeah. No, I know. I realized it afterwards. I know. I knew he was saying Miller, but Schneider's going to be a great defenseman for this team. He's just budding. That's exactly right, Mark. There you go. All right. Anything happened? Yep. Just like I said, Carolina dominated in the regular season. Playoffs are another beast. And with all the holes in the lineup in the offseason, I think Nils will be a trade casualty. Here's the thing, Mikey. I think you're right about that. But the problem is the Rangers don't exactly have a lot of cap space. You might need Nils in order to get somebody off the roster. And the thing is, I don't know any big salaries that really you could trade. Can't trade Kreider, no trade protection. Can't trade Trouba, no trade protection. And that's even with Strome coming off the roster. And they're going to have to qualify Georgiev in order to trade his rights. So Boston and Washington just had their last hurrah. Could be the same for Pittsburgh. I referred to them as that in the beginning of the series, so hopefully that'll come true. Use the song Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen to try to evoke the thoughts about the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Canes are now 6-0 in game 7s. If you beat them, it had better be in 4 or 5. You know what? If you end up having a team that's just good in game 7s, like every time Henrik Lundqvist was in net for the Rangers, I was more than confident in game 7. So that was fine. And yes, the Rangers need to play basic hockey tonight. Shoot mentality with net front presence. Finish checks, forecheck. Play well in their own zone. Box out in front of the net and keep the power play simple. What they need to do is be physical as well and just start putting guys on their ass. If Rickard Rakell was playing, you have to let him know it's not going to be an easy game. If Sidney Crosby is playing, you have got to hit him. Easier said than done with him. Kind of off topic. Any thoughts about the IHF WC? I have not looked at that whatsoever right now. Usually whenever it comes down to IHF World Cup, the one that's usually played right now, I haven't even paid any attention right now because that means my teams have been eliminated. The last time I paid it to other than Matthews and Hughes and Kakko in their years, the last time I really paid attention was when Chris Kreider was there in 2011 as after Boston College got eliminated. So now, but this is just addition by subtraction. I wonder what would have been like with Booch and D'Angelo. Your thoughts? I was not a Tony D'Angelo fan. I thought he was holding back Adam Fox. I have said this actually getting back to our first podcast. Our first podcast that it was just me recording Zoom meetings back then. Our first show, me and Phil, I said the Rangers were done with Tony D'Angelo. It took one game to be finished with Tony D'Angelo because that was when I think he took the 4-minute double minor versus the Islanders in the opening night last year. It was Tony D'Angelo. No. Buchnevich, Buchnevich, on the other hand, I think the Rangers could have held on to him for one more year, but I don't know if do they get Andrew Kopp if they had Buchnevich? Did they get Frank Vetrano if they get Buchnevich? Romanello, that was debunked. I know you're making a joke, but it was debunked. Warren, you were 100% right on that one. No, Tony's just an asshole, but I mean, well, but then you know what? It's unfair for me to say that quickly. I know that's probably going to get edited out and sent to him or something. He's going to see me on the street and punch me in the face. But no, Tony's just probably difficult. And if you're one of his teammates, you probably love him. And if you might get frustrated and hit him, Alexander Georgiev did that. So yeah, he's highly emotional, but sometimes how many guys have you played with that or like that? Does your talent outweigh everything? Are you perfect in your game? How about this? The next time Tony backchecks will be the first. That you could quote me on. But conceptually adventurous. Not going to get political, but D'Angelo would not fit long term. Yes, he is special at the offensive zone, but he is a liability defensively, and he's holding Fox back. Thank you. The other thing was he was an asset. He was an asset that could have been traded. He's going to cash in on his next contract. I don't think it's going to be as big as what everybody thinks it is. He's not going to get Dougie Hamilton money, but he's going to cash in on his next contract. That I guarantee. And by the way, again, I had more faith in Nils Lundkvist becoming a better player than him. And when you get guys waiting in the wings, whether it's Kravtsov, Lafreniere, Kakko, you got to free up the roster spot. And if it's giving up a good player, you have to do that. That's what the salary cap error is. That's how you have to keep lower cost talent, even with a high ceiling. You can't just go, all right, well, we're going to give Buchnevich $6 million. The reason why I don't want the Rangers to keep Ryan Strome is because Ryan Strome on the first power play unit, if they re-sign him, let's say 6 years at $6 million, then why keep Lafreniere and Kakko? Why? So you can have a first and a second overall pick on the third line and then never play them on power play one? First things first, I would say to Ryan Strome, you're coming back. This is the amount of money we're paying you because you're taking a reduced role. And no, a rover can help sometimes, but you also need a defenseman to play defense. Yeah, if your goalie's a head case, that's especially a problem. I'm just gonna let you guys read that one. That was kind of funny. He also got into a fight with his own goalie 1 week into the season. I think it was actually 3. And you can't have that when the team is trying to grow. Well, the other thing is Georgiev's not exactly the most stable mentally either. I know I got on Tristan Jarry. Georgiev makes Jarry look like Ken Dryden. I don't know which kid you're referring to. Could be Lundqvist. I would assume it's Lundqvist, actually. But it could also be sometimes or Zach Jones. Sometimes when we start speculating about that stuff, you got to remember contracts do come into play on this. So that could be something. Stroman needs to walk. Hey, Sean, how you doing? B-Rye. And yeah, well, no one's a bigger head case than Jacques Plante. And he took up knitting to calm his nerves. And then he invented the mask. So, by the way, looking back at the poll, still got everybody right now. We got 74 votes in, 31%. Holy shit, I'm freaking out. 24% anxious but confident, and 38% in the lead. Let's fucking go. All right, let's do this. I'm going to keep that poll going still a little bit longer if you haven't participated. All right. Georgie has a huge attitude, according to Molly Walker, for what it's worth. I don't disagree with her, and we all see this. So, well, yeah, because every goalie wants everything specifically, and everybody, under fans especially, they always pointed to Lundqvist and said he's got such an attitude. That's not true. Lundqvist would just be like, why didn't you get that guy right there? He would specifically say, why didn't you get that guy? So, Cop over Strome, 27 years old, has the same chemistry with Panarin, and he makes Strome expendable. Let him walk. Need that cheddar. Yes, but Cop is also going to get about $5 million, I think. I would say so. And the number one problem with Andrew Copp is going to be what the Detroit Red Wings are going to be offering him, because they're going to go after Andrew Copp. All right. We have it at 3:30 right now, guys. I'm going to do another 10 more minutes because this has been great. 44 of you guys watching right now. And of course, as I always have to, one thing I hate just in general about YouTube is the shameless self-promotion you have to do, but you always have to do it. Don't forget to like this, subscribe, and hit the bell to get more information from us. And also smash that like, because that one just looks better. Duh. So, all right. Question. I think it's a little trade to answer that one. Because, all right. And reading it out loud. Question is then, is Georgiev being moved in the offseason a little trade or a big trade? And I think it's a little trade. I think you're closer to Cam Talbot. And Cam Talbot is because the Rangers kind of waited out the market a little bit too long. But on the other hand, Robin Lehner was viewed higher by a lot of NHL GMs, rightfully so. But yeah. See, I'm going to bring that up in a second, Dom. Actually, I'll do that right now. Yeah, 10 more minutes, just like the 10 more minutes I had with Steven that turned into an hour. But again, part of it also has to do with that. I do have to do some things. I got to meet up with a couple people in a few minutes. Yeah, I'm actually going to have a beer and a shot. I got to pick up my friends that are waiting at the bar because my roommates. So, although, you know what? I said I need an apartment. No, I don't. I'm good where I am right now. My housemates, they're all great. They're all great people. Anyone else notice that the D is just letting the Pens walk into the zone? They're trying to be more passive, I think, instead of stopping the blue line. I think they're concerned about the Penguins getting behind them, and it shows. And you saw it kind of in game one, but again, Ryan Lindgren was off, just not there. Bizzle, let me just go back to this one for a second, because realistically speaking, where is your landing spot for Georgiev? Because if it's the Edmonton Oilers, who finally have goalies coming off of contracts, I don't know what they're giving you for Georgiev, because Georgiev's still a backup. You're talking about a backup. You got to get more out of him to offer. The Toronto Maple Leafs were interested in Georgiev, but on the other hand, isn't that just Jack Campbell with a different nationality? Then you have, trying to think of teams that need goaltenders. Maybe the Coyotes, but been there and done that with them. Antti Ranta. I mean, Ottawa Senators could be in there. It depends on what team's going to look at him, identify him, and say, we're going to go for this guy. Because after all, there's still a team in the NHL that traded a first and a third for Rasmus Ristolainen. There we go. There are some things that happen that you first guess. The Yankees signing Jacoby Ellsbury, I went, ooh, that's not going to end well. Having Jacoby Ellsbury in fantasy for years, I saw the decline in his production. Rasmus Ristolainen on the Flyers. Oh, it's still terrible. Oh, it's still terrible. I just think about it all the time. Georgiev has one issue. The fact that he is just like depressed every single time Igor wins a game. Nope. That's true. But also Georgiev had that hot streak and then that's it. Oh, okay. Well, Brennan Ottman isn't playing in the AHL. Brendan Ottman is playing for the Flint Firebirds. And if the Rangers got him right now, it would have to be on an ELC and burn a year off his ELC. And they don't want to do that. So they're probably going to, by the way, don't be surprised, according to what Statboy Steven says and what you say is he'll probably be starting the next season with the Rangers. Yeah, Leonard's getting shoulder surgery. But when I was thinking about Robin Leonard, I was thinking about him in 2015 when the Senators traded him to the Sabres. Yankees are up 3-0. Oh, that is actually kind of funny. All right. Maybe concerned about the Pens getting behind. Still are getting back. Yeah, again, take the body. Take the body. That's all you got to keep doing tonight. Who's a more tortured fan base, the Leafs or the Flyers? The Flyers won a playoff series, but did they? So okay. I said this before, Mike. I'll say it again. Lou Lamoriello traded Andrew Ladd with $5.5 million left on his contract and a year that he did not play and barely played the year before. Anybody could get traded. I mean, how did Andrew Ladd get traded? I still have no idea. But still. Nasty Nestor kicking ass again. This was first time here. Thanks for being. Yeah. Well, first, Michael, thank you very much for having me. And also, a fine Italian name like that is always welcome. Might lose cop to Detroit. He's a Michigan native. That's right, too. Also, Detroit's got a lot more cap space that they could offer him. Ellsbury is the worst contract ever. There's a lot of bad contracts in baseball. Called it the second he signed, as did I. Cash smartly and avoided Crawford. That is also a smart too. And stupidly signed Jacoby and a Paddock move after losing Robinson Cano. Yeah. He by the way, he made two other signings that day, which were brilliant. It was McCann and Beltran. But no, that's it. There's always a GM to make him a brutal trade. Caps traded Philip Forsberg for Martin Erat. That is right, 100%. Ken Holland might be desperate. Toronto might be Barry Trotz's next destination. I was predicting Winnipeg, but you know something? Toronto could be there too. There's a ton of teams that'll jettison their coach for Barry Trotz right now. And that I heard a story about how he got fired. I still can't believe it. I can't share it, unfortunately, for journalistic integrity, but that's what we're trying. Now, by the way, I do understand those two words don't go together anymore, journalistic integrity, but that's what we're aiming to do for Big Apple Hockey and Big Apple Sports when we start branching out for a bunch of other things. It's just nobody needs fake news sites. Again, if you sign Forsberg, what are you doing with Kakko and Loff? Those guys got to develop. That's why I think the Rangers need to win this game. Well, obviously they need to win, then their season's over. But they need to win this game. They need to, because I think their run is this year. If it's not this year, it's in 2 years. Because too many guys are signed to big contracts. It's just that simple. There might be 3 years, I should say, because they got to re-sign Kakko. They got a Lafreniere's contract is coming up. What happens if he has a breakout season? There's so many things that go into this year. Rick, unfortunately, I was sworn to secrecy because it was an off-the-record thing that went to a friend of mine that went to another friend. So imagine if the Islanders signed David Quinn as their coach. No. And by the way, the Islanders possibly going to their assistant coach. Yeah, because that's worked out well for teams that have replaced a Stanley Cup winning coach, possibly Hall of Fame winning coach, like the Rangers did with their assistant coach when it was Colin Campbell. That didn't go well in 95, went better in 96 and 97. Let's see. After that, it was Scotty Bowman retiring. They gave him Dave Lewis the job. That didn't go well. Then Todd Reardon with the Capitals in 2018 when Trotz left. So, yeah, please, go right ahead. Go right to the assistant. Yeah, and by the way, we're going to be getting more. We're working on the merchandise. We're going to finalize what the actual Big Apple Hockey logo is going to be. As you guys know, the angry face with on the apple. That's what I've been going with. The original one that I had up there is up there, and you also have the horse, but those might be copyrighted, so that's the reason why we're trying to make sure we get our own. The NHL really needs to address the cap situation. Let them have penalties for teams going past the cap on injured reserve. Yeah, that's all. That's a little bit out of here. Levi, hi, how you doing? Welcome to the show. And also, Penn's here, equally nervous. If Sid can find some time and space, I'm feeling good. Well, when you got one of the best players of all time, yeah, you would be. So it's just that. And I've said before, I'll say it again. I wish I lived in the alternate reality where the lottery balls bounced a different way and the Rangers got the #1 overall pick. Imagine Sidney Crosby playing on the same team as Henrik Lundqvist. And by the way, hockey would be the greatest sport in America because the Rangers would have 5 cups. Whenever anybody talks about Henrik Lundqvist, I always got to point this out. Keep in mind, he played in the same division as 2 of the best players in NHL history in Crosby and Ovechkin. And Malkin is an afterthought in this conversation. Like, the talent Henrik Lundqvist had to face, and he was one of the best goaltenders in numbers, is amazing. Romanello, is it okay to start drinking yet? And anxiety said again, no, because I will be having a drink in about 5 minutes. I can't have too much because I have to work. So there you go. There were no balls dropped. It was done in a closed room, no cameras. If a tree falls in the woods, doesn't make a sound. Well, if a lottery ball is rigged and to save a franchise that is experiencing bankruptcy, yeah. But you know something? This universe has been just fine. So Roman, it's past 12. Actually, Roman, is it? Oh wait, no, you're here. For a second, I thought it was Leo or Tomas that was there. Yeah, that's and again, look, Pittsburgh needs the Penguins because the Penguins are the Penguins are such a great franchise for that city. Levi, again, Marc on the road. Eventually, I'm going to get to Pittsburgh. Stay tuned. I'll buy you a beer when I get there. I don't know if it's going to be for a Ranger game, though. I keep promising a friend of mine that I owe him an Islanders game to go to, or I might just do a neutral one. That way I don't have to have anybody spit at me. Oh, wait, sorry. That would be Philadelphia. So, yeah, Drury's going to be creative. And you know something? If you can get Vegas to be as creative as they were the last 3 years, including this one, then that'll work. But there's no Rangers going on LTIR. All right. We are at 3:43. Gonna do another 2 more minutes, guys. Leo, take it easy. For you, let's go Rangers. Well, for me, let's go Rangers too. But I mean, I'm still trying to be a pundit. Let's go Rangers tonight, and hopefully everything's gonna be fine with that one. Next time around, the draft lottery, the 16 teams should play a game of bingo. Actually, you know what the 16 teams should do? They should have like a battle royale with the Star Trek fight music going. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, Levi, I'm going to ask you this because I went through this before and I kind of went a little bit ballistic about this. And I know I kind of annoyed another Penguins fan on here. I don't think it's a good move. And I think Mike Sullivan's a great coach, but no, that's not a good move. You shouldn't put him in game 7. He's not familiar. Yeah, a puck hasn't hit him in a month. You're going to put him in game 7 of a playoff series? And by the way, I'm not a Tristan Jarry fan either because I just don't think he's as the most mentally strong goaltender out there. So if the crowd gets on him, if he lets in one bad goal, I mean, this isn't like a fourth liner where it's like, hey, if something's going wrong, you can always just give him reduced ice time. He's your goalie. He's got to be out there 60 minutes. So, damn you, Rick. See, and I'm okay with you disagreeing. I am apprehensive about this because I don't think it's fair to both Jari or the Penguins or anyone else. But he is their goalie. He's done this before. Maybe I mean, this isn't at home either. This is in a hostile environment, and I know lots of Ranger fans might want to put the hostile in quotes, but that upper bowl is going to be right on him. The lower bowl, you corporate assholes, you better be cheering and cheering loudly, and your mistress better be cheering too. So, time to drink. Got to find a bar one. Oh, yes. Got to visit your bar one day. By the way, guys, sorry. I got my microphone that blocks this. Sometimes I'm looking at the main screen. Sometimes I'm looking at the comments, and I have a wire that's going past both of them. And I'm not the best of readers, so to do this all on the fly like this. But yeah, that would be. So if you go to Jones Beach, yeah, let me know because I work right over there, a little bit off of there. I'm going to 4 o'clock, everybody. Here we go. So, oh yeah. Mike Milbury, fantastic GM. And again, look, I have no problem writing the guys that got you here. I just think it's a little bit unfair to go, okay, kid, if you lose tonight, the season's over. And again, I do think it struck 12 at midnight for Domingue. And Domingue is one of the reasons why probably they didn't finish off the Rangers. Maybe if Jari was in one of those games, it would have been fine. But if Jari was able to play game 5, let's say you use that as an example. I know he had a cushion, but then he gets into the series. Then he gets into playoff speed. Then he gets into NHL speed. Even if the Rangers torch him in game 5, then and no, Rick, absolutely no OT. Please no overtime. Crosby, game time decision. Don't believe smokescreen. I bet he's out. I bet he's playing. That's what I bet. I think he's likely to play. I don't just need Mike Milbury back. Bring back the glory years. Oh, no. You know, and when Mike Milbury took the job, he said, screw the Rangers, screw the Devils. We're going to make a great team here. And I still think Crosby plays. I just think. And I can't deal with overtime game 7. At least the Rangers won their last overtime game 7. Like, this is how much I'll say about the breakdowns on things. And I went nuts when they scored the go-ahead goal last time. Because the Capitals. Capitals in 2015, and I think the one after that was Matteau. So that should be the last 2 overtime game 7s they had. So it's just now I forgot what the hell I was talking about. All right. Oh, for sure, definitely would not be ideal. If Domingue doesn't give up that stinker, then maybe I would give him another shot. Yeah. I'm going to go with Jari Colt. And the reason why is because Louis Domingue, and you've probably seen this over the course of his career, he's a very kind of aloof personality. So I don't think he would care about the pressure. What I do think, I think Jari would care about the pressure. So that's just me. And who knows? He can come in and play well tonight. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to jinx my own team. So, all right. Capital should be the rule of the cap. Teams that may have disastrous signings may pay penalties. Franchises that make too many bad deals just won't survive. Yeah. Nick, how you doing? Rangers win. Whoever plays for Pittsburgh, the whole reason they have done anything is because we let them. Yeah, but same thing with the Penguins. The Penguins haven't reacted well to a bad bounce. And again, both teams have come back on each other in the series. Penguins scored game 1. Let me go and jump to game 3. Penguins winning. Penguins score first. in game 3 on the Brock McGinn goal. Nice job, Patrick Nemeth. And Igor also, he needs to be, I guess he really was on the post on that one. But then immediately Kakko ties it. Rangers let the momentum get away from him, 4-1. Toronto scores 4-2. Panarin scores 4-3. And then Kopp shorthanded. The Rangers have 2 shorthanded goals in the series. They have, I believe, 4 power play goals now. They were equal when it ended game 3. That was ridiculous. Okay. The thing is calm and subbed in overtime. Yeah, he's all smiles. You know what? And by the way, wait, where is his name again? Levi, let me also say this for you. What we found out afterwards, I thought it was just a bad bounce, but they credited that goal, I believe, to Zibanejad because that was his hat trick. And I think that's what they said when they said that I think he deflected the puck. If that's the case, that's not on Domingue. That's on the defense then for letting him get by. I want to double check that real quick. I know I'm wasting everybody's time because I got 9 more minutes. 9 more minutes to get this to happen. No, they went back to Kreider. Okay, because they said Mika Zibanejad had a hat trick. It looked like he might have deflected it, but in any event, there was definitely some distraction or maybe even a partial screen from Zibanejad. Yeah. John Kim, here we go. I'm not worried about Jerry. We owned him all season long. It's stupid for them to play him. He's easily going to re-injure himself. Crosby plays tonight. Yeah. Yeah, Levi. Okay. And again, John, that's what I've been saying all along. I didn't say that. Yeah, by the way, Romanelli, you're right. He wasn't credited with the goal. I looked it up just to be sure. It is Kreider's. Kreider's got 4 in this series for a guy that a lot of people are kind of getting on pretty much. Yeah, he did. He had a chance to glove it. I think, you know what? We got a minute. Let's go to it. Let's go back to it. I had it up. I should just stayed with it. This is that this is the reason why you come. You guys come to watch me click on it on the mouse for a few minutes and then let's see. It's got to be a commercial first. There we go. Let's get that tab going. Share screen. And Kreider's shot bounces in. Okay. Here we go, guys. So yeah, there's the drop. There's Kreider's shot. It could have been a partial screen. Maybe he's looking at the stick. You know what? You're right. That glove is up. I just don't see exactly where it hits him. I'm going to use the term puck luck, by the way, for that. Because that was a little bit of puck luck. Tyler Mott right there. And he's got a clear line of, you know what? No, that's puck luck. And maybe he got distracted by Zibanejad. I agree with you. Levi, I agree with you. I think he should have had it. He has a clear line of sight. You can see that there's a clear line of sight to him. By the way, we're now down to 29% of people are holy shit, I'm freaking out. 86 votes in this chat today, guys. Thank you very much. I'm assuming, by the way, even the Penguins fans were joining in on that. Yeah, that is a lefty. Yes, he wasn't credited with the goal. It went to Kreider. Why did MSG say a hat trick then? Probably crazy. And then I had to go back and look at that. Yeah, he tried to trap it with his glove and his blocker. It looked like, but it did look like there was a bit of, he's got the glove up right here, and then it dips to the right. It's, yeah, maybe the Rangers can finally get a 5-on-3 for once. Hit his glove weird. It went over the net. Worst goal of the playoffs so far, by the way, Jack Campbell in game 4, that he looked at his glove like, what happened? But then again, you look at the replay. I thought it was his glove too. By the way, hey, Pops. If we do more hitting and take the body and stick check and we win, I agree with that one. Officiating has been awful. Like I just clicked on that a second ago. Mika never touched the puck. Penguin might have sent it higher. Yeah, that's right. Because again, I went with what MSG said, and then I watched it afterwards, and I thought that was it. But I was kind of wondering why everybody still kept saying it was Kreider. Hey, maybe I should have done my job before I got on air. So, hit at the blocker. It was angled up. By the way, everybody, that's also why Henrik Lundqvist did the header. He never liked putting his glove up in front of his face, so he would bat it away with the head. Hand caught them for sure. Yeah. First big important bounce. Yep. Went back and forth between Zim and Kreider on the goal conflicting info. Yeah. And Hope Crosby, Jari, Raquel, and Dumoulin are in the lineup. We don't need a weak opposition with the Canes waiting for a dance partner. Yeah. No matter what. Hey, Pops. By the way, Pops, coming up soon in this off season, I'm working on it right now. It's a retrospective of one of my favorite Simpsons episode, Lisa on Ice. And I love that episode. I cannot say how much I love that episode. But yeah, holy shit, I've been on for almost 2 hours now. Wow. Penguins fold under a physical game this season as well. Yeah. And by the way, the whole thing about the Rangers, their entire mantra was get grittier, get grittier. Well, one of the guys ain't playing in Barclay Goodrow. One of them is in Tyler Mott. Oh, sorry, 2 of them. I forgot about Sammy Blais for a minute. Penguins and Stars, it's Jari and Sid are playing minus the last minute setback. I don't see any way Sidney Crosby is not playing this game. I know Mikey BX has been saying there's no way if he's in the concussion protocol, they're going to bend those rules. Sidney Crosby's playing. Well, come on. And by the way, if you're a Rangers fan, you want to beat the Penguins at full strength. It sounds funny. We end up being like Sebastian Barracohen in Talladega Nights. We're saying, no, Ricky Bobby, I want to beat you. I came here to beat you. So, yeah, Goudreau, looking forward to it. And Goudreau, yeah. Romanello, thank you. Take it easy. Go have a drink. I'm going to be doing that as well in a minute. All right, guys, it is 2 minutes to 4, so I'm going to go the next 2 minutes. All right, let's see what else we got. If you haven't seen it before, I will show you guys again. I'll waste 30 seconds on this. How I'm feeling
today. Look at that.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
Oh man, so many nerves going. And again, Vince Mercogliano said optional morning skate, and Jari is expected to start. Probably going to see the Penguins at full strength. Hopefully, this is closer to the game in March than anything else. Everybody, of course, if you haven't done it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We're a great channel to watch when you have to take a dump, and also smash on that like button. I got 4 more comments right here. We're going to go through them. I'm also going to give you the results of the poll. 36 likes. Thank you very much, guys, because that's important. And Sasha Baron, oh God, I did it again. Sebastian Baron Cohen. Jesus. Sasha Baron Cohen. Should know Borat's full name. Or Isla Fisher's husband. You're a moron. That's me, everybody, not you. All right. If Subban is a commentator tonight, they should ask him if Sammy would have made a difference. Ooh, that's cold. All right. What's the difference? What difference do you think Sammy could have made this season? Sammy Blais hits everything that moves. Sammy Blais is exactly the grit the New York Rangers need. and he's exactly a guy the New York Rangers are going. Don't be surprised if they let Frank Vatrano walk. Don't be surprised, because if that's the case, Vatrano walks, Blake gets a qualifying offer, and then the Rangers still have the guy that they had on the top line. Rick, thank you very much. Levi, yes. Especially after game 4, I would have been like, never mind you. You would have told me if it was going to 7. I'd be like, no. If you saw my game 4 recap, go ahead. It started with a bag on my head. I think I still have the bag. Yeah, it's over there. So hopefully, guys, there is going to be another series about out of this. We're going to do a Adam Fox signed picture giveaway, and it'll be for anybody that's on subscribers. I haven't heard any latest news on Sammy Blais. I think he is skating right now, but I think that's just there. Kazar Ray, I still don't know if he's in the protocol, but because I still haven't heard an official announcement that Crosby has a concussion. And if he does, then Mikey BX is saying that he's got a concussion, but I don't think so. I could be anything else. But again, by the way, hope you have a good game too. In a way, the Rangers are playing with house money too. I have to agree with both these things, but this is the Penguins' last run if they're going to win a Stanley Cup. There's a lot of guys that are unsigned, and this will probably be it. So, but then again, who knows? You have Sidney Crosby on the team, so that could be something different. I think Mott over Vatrano and Blais when he comes back. Yeah, Mott. I really liked Tyler Mott. I loved Tyler Mott, and if he was in this series earlier, this series is not going 7. It sounds funny to say about a 4th liner, but it's very true. 100%. All right, everybody, enjoy the Ranger game. We're going to end the poll right there, too. It is 36% of people just want to say, let's fucking go. So, as much as I'm freaking out, I'm starting to feel it. Feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, yeah. What was the Will Ferrell line? I feel it in the plums. I feel it in the plums. This is actually getting weird now. I probably should get out of here soon. Dom, let's go Rangers. And guys, hopefully, no matter what, tomorrow afternoon, I'll be doing another stream. Hopefully, I'll be in good shape and good spirits to do one. I'm going to have to recoup quickly if the Rangers win, because there's going to be talking about game 7 or not. Hopefully I'll be off the hook and Phil does one tonight. I don't know. We're going to find out about that probably afterwards, because if Phil is a great spirits, he's going to want to come on and talk about this. But guys, it is always great. It's great being here. This is the reason why I'm doing this. Basically, it is like my other job, except just less alcohol for now. That'll be changing in a little bit. And just let's go Rangers. I still say 4-2 will be the final tonight. And I'll say the Rangers don't score first and get the W. So my prediction, the Rangers move on to Carolina. There you go. They've had situations like this before. Philadelphia, game 7. This will be their third 3-1 comeback if they could pull this off in the last 10 years. Last 8 years, matter of fact. Just wow. All right. In the name of Messier, I'll do it for you. In the name of Messier, Hank, Panarin, and Igor. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change it for you a little bit. I'm going to go in the name of Lester, Gilbert, Hank, and Messier. Let's go Rangers. All right. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Can't wait. Bart Scott said it best. Can't wait. Whoa! Oh.